Because there are no, unlike with Finnick and Joanna, where there are clearly a few actors who have emerged over the last year as fan favorites, there aren't really any big fan favorites for Plutarch. So I have been sort of looking around the web for a week, and I compiled a list of all of the actors that I have seen suggested as Plutarch. And I'm going to read all of these names, and then we can all sort of comment on who from that list we like. So without further ado, and this list really showcases the fact that Plutarch could pretty much be played by anyone. There's a huge amount of diversity in this list. Okay. John Goodman, Michael Fassbender, Oliver Platt, Gerard Butler, Stephen Fry, Paul Giamatti, Jeff Bridges, Dan Aykroyd, Jeremy Renner, Neil Patrick Harris, Cillian Murphy, which is interesting. He was a Cine favorite. A few people have actually suggested Wes Bentley, so maybe Wes Bentley could just come back and play Plutarch Heavensbee. So those are ones that I've seen mentioned in different places online. And Entertainment Weekly offered these suggestions. Bill Nighy, and I don't think that will happen, but I love him. Philip Seymour Hoffman, John Malkovich, and Jean Dujardin, who is a French actor. He was in The Artist recently. So those are sort of the biggest names that I've seen floating around on the web. So let's just go around and each take a minute or so to just say, who we like on that list, or who our personal favorite is if we have one. And let's go in reverse alphabetical order this time. How does that sound to everyone?
Sounds good.
That sounds great. Okay, so Theresa, that means you're first.
Terrific to me. We're doing first name.
We're doing first name. We always do first name.
For one,
that's true.
Okay, so Theresa, first of all, tell us if you like anyone in that list of actors that I just provided, and if there's someone else that you have in mind.
Well, no, not really, not from that list. I don't know. I guess it took me, it was about last week, I finally figured out who I was picturing when I was reading the book, and so now I'm kind of like stuck on that, so I don't know. There's been a couple. I know Rebekah put a post out on Victor's Village, which was really good. I loved that, by the way, and put links at the bottom. And some of the ones that she added down there in her little IMDb, I like those ones too. But I'm kind of stuck on Jim Broadbent. I don't know. I guess Plutarch, we have a Slughorn character, so
yeah.
I guess so. I'm kind of like stuck on him now that I figured out that's who I was picturing. Because it took me a while. I was thinking about it. I'm like, who am I picturing? And it finally dawned on me that's who I was seeing. So I'm kind of stuck on him right now.
Okay, so we have one Jim Broadbent fan in the house. Mm-hmm. Shylah, same thing. Is there anyone on that list who appeals to you, or is there someone that you like who is not on that list?
There's someone on that list who is legend. Wait for it. Barry. And that is Neil Patrick Harris, especially after seeing the direction they went in for Seneca Crane and casting younger and kind of someone the way I didn't picture Seneca Crane in the books, Wes Bentley. I think Neil Patrick Harris is the way to go. He's got great comedic timing. I think his character, Barney Stinson, kind of fits at what Theresa was talking about earlier with that kind of disregard for other people's feelings, but really there's a heart underneath that character that he plays now, though he's very crass and kind of has this over-the-top personality. I think it would be great. I know a lot of people think older or think pudgier, but especially after seeing Wes Bentley, I think, I want Neil Patrick Harris in these movies because I love him so much, and I feel like he would do just fantastically with this role. So somebody listening, give it to him, please.
I think he would really enjoy playing Plutarch Heavensbee, don't you? I think he'd really love it.
Oh, I think he'd have a blast with it. I think after seeing some of the other stuff that he's done, especially outside of How I Met Your Mother, he's done great things. Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along blog is just a great, I think, view of his range, that he can pull at your heartstrings sometimes, even when he's being silly. So, yes, somebody give it to him. We don't need to talk about the rest.
And a couple of people, just to go back to when we are blah, blah, blah. I can't talk again. But to go back to what we were saying about physical description, a few people have tweeted and mentioned that he was described in the books as being a large man. So that could be overweight, or that could be just like large. But I don't think, with the first movie, they didn't necessarily keep the characters 100% faithful to the physical descriptions in the book, so I still think Neil Patrick Harris might have a chance. Okay, I guess it's my turn now. How exciting. So for me, my favorite person from this list, and I think just my favorite person in general for Plutarch Heavensbee, is Stephen Fry. Like, that is who I pictured as Plutarch while I was reading the books, and that's kind of just, I think he'll always remain in my head as being, like, my Plutarch Heavensbee. And if you guys don't know who Stephen Fry is, he's an English actor. He's been in a lot of British films. I'm not sure if he's done anything that's been really big in the States.
He was in V for Vendetta.
Yeah, so that's what like Americans might know him from. And he there's something else that he was in recently. I can't remember. He was in another movie I think that was big over here, but he's been in like a ton of English films. And he's going to be in The Hobbit, which comes out this winter. He's playing the oh God, I don't know what the character's called, but like the Master of Lake Town. There we go. So, yeah, Stephen Fry is awesome. He is older. He's in his, I believe, 40s or early 50s, but he's exactly who I picture as Plutarch Heavensbee. And I would die if he were cast. Okay, Sam, anyone from that list who sticks out to you, or is there anyone else that you've considered for the role?
There's actually two people on that list that I really like. I like Neil Patrick Harris a lot. I think that would just be, I'm with Shylah 100% on that one. That would be so cool. And, of course, I would cast Bill Nighy in just about any role that people would let me cast him in. I just love him as an actor, and he could do anything, and I would like it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who's next.
I do want to say, also point out that the thing that I think you all can consider, too, is we mentioned that it's very likely to be a big name, and the thing that the Hunger Games really has going for it, or Catching Fire this time around, sure, they were able to get some big names last time, Elizabeth Banks, Donald Sutherland, Woody Harrelson, but this time it should be an absolute cinch to get these names. Because whereas before they had to really convince them, now I think maybe you don't get everybody you want, but people will be lining up. If they like the movie and they have a little bit of free time, it's probably not even going to be a huge shooting investment. I'm sure they'll tailor the schedule to make it convenient for these bigger name actors and actresses too. So I'd be really surprised if they don't get really who they want at this point for these roles.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry to interrupt the alphabetical organization.
It's okay. It's okay.
To say that I think any name is realistic is all I'm saying.
I 100% agree with you. Because, with the Hunger Games, like, he had to really convince Woody Harrelson to do it, because Woody Harrelson hadn't heard of the books. But now I think he would be hard-pressed to find a big actor in Hollywood who has not read the series. Okay. Rebekah, who do you like for Plutarch Heavensbee? And I have to say, if you have not read Rebekah's Plutarch Heavensbee article at Victor's Village, please do. It's probably my favorite casting article ever. It's just perfect. So go to victorsvillage.com and find her Plutarch article and read it now because it's great. That being said, Rebekah, does anyone from this list stick out to you? Is there anyone else that you would like to see in the role?
Well, yeah, there are a lot of people on this list that I like. I'm so conflicted on how they're gonna take this role, but I came up with one idea today, and I wish it could happen so very much, but I know it won't because it just won't. Oh, Christopher Walken.
Oh God, that would be amazing.
I just thought
Why
of that.
couldn't it happen? Why
Because
not?
they just checked his IMDb page, and he has 5 other projects in the works. So I was going, that would be great. No, but on the list that you read off, I do like the idea of John Goodman because he's done some really amazing work over the years. I know most people know him from Roseanne.
Yeah. But he actually is like a legit actor. He's great.
He's why Roseanne works. Sorry, I should have to say that. I like him. I also like Bill Nye, but that's just never going to happen because he's so busy. And I'm afraid that if he did do the Hunger Games franchise, he would just be playing himself or a version of himself.
Yeah.
Which he has a tendency of doing lately. Like everything that he does seems like, hey, it's Bill Nye.
Why are we all assuming that Bill Nye wouldn't do this?
Let's just clarify, Bill Nye is not Bill Nye the Science Guy.